Hi everybody, Roxanne here from Roxy Health and Skincare. I am a beauty therapy lecturer at the Beauty Therapy Institute, and today's topic is hair removal, waxing versus shaving, what you should do and shouldn't do before, during and afterwards, and of course what we can do to prevent those really nasty ingrown hairs. So at the end of the day, it's all about preference. For example, just from what I prefer and what I look at, is when you remove hair through waxing or tweezing, it is directly from the root. So there's no shine through hairs. When you are shaving hair, you bluntly taking it from the top, so you will always have like a little shine through. You can see the hair underneath the skin, so it's never like a smooth cut. Whereas with waxing, you're as smooth as a baby. The hair is completely out from the follicle, and it is as painful as it sounds. You are pulling it, you're ripping the hair from the follicle, but it does improve with time, because when you are waxing, the hair gets finer and it gets less painful as time goes, because the hair gets finer as we move on, and the hair also gets less because the hair also grows at different stages. Not all our hair will be exactly the same length at a time, so because they grow in different stages, it also appears that the hair is growing much less back. Some of the follicles do get damaged, or some kind of trauma happens to it, and the hair doesn't grow back. But I think if you wait long enough, it does come back, after a couple of years or so. So when you remove hair through waxing, you also have a much lower chance of getting hyperpigmentation. Of course, if you follow the correct home care advice, you can prevent hyperpigmentation. Whereas when you shave a lot, you do tend to get hyperpigmented, especially underneath your arms. Over here, you can get, that bluish tint, which is, not very pretty. And especially when you're a woman, we are very super conscious about all the colorings all over our bodies, but men as well, So let's start off with before care for both waxing and shaving. So in between your treatments, or your waxing and your shaving, you have to do exfoliation. Exfoliation is absolutely important. If you do not exfoliate, your skin gets dry, and also you get a buildup of dead keratinized cells. And in any case, with anything you do, if you've got smoother skin, you'll get a smoother canvas to work with, so it gets easier. With shaving, there's not so much in between care that you have to take, but I always advise all my clients, you have to exfoliate, okay? But it's not completely necessary. But with your waxing, it is 100% necessary, because if you do not exfoliate in between, and you are that client that is extremely dry skin, maybe you've got flaky skin, or maybe you just build up dead skin cells much faster. Maybe your cell turnover rate is completely different from another one. And when you go for your waxing treatment, there is a chance that they are going to rip off some of your live skin. It sounds terrible, but if it does happen, there is some aftercare advice that you can take to prevent hyperpigmentation. But in most cases, especially if it's just small bits of skin that's coming off, let's say around the brow area or so, that's easy to take care of, and it can go away very quickly. However, if you do have a really large patch on your legs or so that came off, it gets a little bit more challenging, but nothing we can't handle, okay? But prevention is always better than cure. So what kind of exfoliation methods are there? So there are a couple of them, and one that is very regularly used within our showers is that glove, that scrub glove that everybody uses, or a loofah that you can use, of course, to, you know, scrub away. The glove is not so abrasive, so a lot of people use it every day. I still don't use it every single day. I still, you know, I'm always switching up what I use in my shower. Sometimes I use my gloves, sometimes I use a much softer sponge, sometimes I do my HAs. You know, I'm always mixing it up and just giving my skin a little break from anything too harsh, and then, you know, going nice and soft, and, you know, just letting my skin get all the textures and things going. So the first one is the scrub, the glove or the loofah, and that is really not something that you would want to use if you do already have a lot of papules and pustules, which is also pimples, all over your body. Say you have a lot of ingrown hairs. Men get it on their legs or wherever. If you shave a lot or you go for waxing, you can get some ingrown hairs over your legs, your, you know, whichever area, your chest, wherever you are scrubbing with your loofah. If you scrub with your loofah, you can make it worse, because if you do have some bacteria within those pimples, you are actually opening it up and spreading it all over. That's why it could be getting worse if yours is getting worse. So I would advise that you use something a little bit lighter, like HAs, which I mentioned a bit earlier. HAs are alpha hydroxy acids. So you get different kinds of alpha hydroxy acids with different strengths. So you get citric acid, you get malic acid, you get glycolic acid, you get salicylic acid. You know, there's so many different ones that you can use with different strengths. So the one that I'm going to, or let's say two, that I would more focus on for daily or more home use often, that you can use very often, is your lactic acid and your glycolic acid. Very mild, you can use it very regularly, let's say 2 to 3 times a week. So I really like that one. It's not abrasive on your skin at all. It's not going to spread any bacteria if you do have any pimples, and it works beautifully. It works beautifully. So it is resurfacing. It will brighten your skin. It's just amazing. Okay, so the one that I like to use is of Environ. I use the Dermalac lotion and then their body oil, body ACE oil. So it's rich in antioxidants, vitamin B, vitamin C, you know, so that oil is amazing. If you want it, you gotta get it. Okay, it's really amazing. So you've got lactic acid in there, which is derived from sour milk. It is hands down the best thing I've used, you know, because I always got a lot of ingrown hairs, and that's the only thing so far that has worked for me. So yes, that is something you can use before your waxing treatment. If you are using it on a regular, do stop, let's say 2 to 3 days before your waxing appointment, just to prevent any sensitivity on your skin, and then we can continue with your wax. If you are using granular scrubs, you know, those salt scrubs, or your loofah, so you can do it 24 hours before your treatment, and this will also minimize, you know, the risk of skin coming off, and also, yes, prevent your ingrowns, prevent, you know, buildup of dead keratinized cells. So yeah, that's your before care. If you are going for an underarm wax, if you can avoid wearing deodorant that day, that will be great. But you know, it's not something that can't be removed. It just does make it easier, because it gets difficult to, or you know, it does get difficult to remove deodorant sometimes, depending on what you're using. So it will just make the process go a little bit quicker. What you can do instead for that day is maybe just put some powder, or yeah, I don't know, it depends on you, but you know, it's not a train smash, but it could be avoided. After your waxing treatment, you definitely cannot wear your deodorant for up to 12 hours after your treatment, just to, your pores are open and exposed. It's also a preventative measure. It's also a preventative measure for ingrown hairs, because you're now, putting all that sticky, dry, deodorant into your pores. It's not going to be a good look, guys. So during your waxing treatment, you can bring a spatula or a stress ball, bite onto that and hold on. Okay, just a joke. Okay, never mind. It's just a joke. The nice thing about waxing is that you don't have to do anything. You're sitting there and this person is grooming your entire body for you. Another nice thing about waxing is it lasts so much longer. It lasts really so much longer, depending on your own personal rate of hair growth. There's a lot of things that affect your rate of hair growth: hormones, external factors, internal, external factors. There's a lot of things, but depending on all of these things, your waxing can last 2 to 4 weeks, maybe a bit longer, depending on you and your hair growth, how often you've been waxing and all of that. But even if it's just 2 weeks, that's a good one for me, because when you are shaving, you literally have to shave every day or every second day. And yes, it becomes a shower routine or your bath routine. It's just a part of it, so you just sort of do it. But like I said, you get so much more of a clean look when you are waxing. So again, the waxing is a little bit more painful, so some people does just do just like be whatever, I don't want to be in pain, I'm just gonna shave. That was me for a while. And what happened? You get pigmentation. You get a lot of pigmentation. I got a lot of pigmentation under my arms. So the waxing was a game changer. It really was. And because also in between, you've got so much time, So after my waxing, what I did, after every wax, I was putting my ACE body oil, a little bit of baby powder, and then here, day 2, day 3, when it's not... Okay, I stay sensitive for very long, but some people it's just an hour and they're done. For me, I stay sensitive a little bit longer. So afterwards, when the sensitivity is gone, I start applying my lactic acid. So I mix my body oil with my Dermalac lotion and I put that under my arms, and that helped tremendously with ingrown hairs and pigmentation. So if you're struggling with ingrown hairs and pigmentation, that's your go-to. You need to have AHAs in your life. So the one thing that you would definitely need if you are shaving and you prefer to shave, no problem. Please do not use your bath soap to shave or just water. You definitely need to have a shaving cream. A shaving cream helps to soften the skin, softens everything up, so you can get a smoother, cleaner cut. You also get shaving oils, which is also really lovely, and it will also prevent those razor burns and all those rashes that you get after you do your shaving. The advice that doesn't really change if you are getting ingrown hairs and you prefer to shave, you do not want to go for waxing, or you don't know where to go, or you don't have somebody you trust to wax you, do your shaving with, first of all, your shaving cream or shaving oil, and then you have to exfoliate and do the proper exfoliation. You cannot exfoliate with a granular exfoliator, so lovely soft apricot kernels and I don't know what else they say is in there. No granular exfoliation. You can use enzymatic exfoliation or AHAs. Enzymatic works almost the same like chemical peel. Chemical peel is now your AHAs and things. So your enzymatic exfoliators work with bromelain and papain, so that's fruit acids. The one that I have here is bromelain and papain. It's enzymes from pineapple and papaya. Sorry, can't find my words. So those ones also just help to break down the bonds between dead skin cells, and you basically just wipe off your dead skin cells, and that is it. So waxing versus shaving, the aftercare stays pretty much the same. You cannot go without exfoliation, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot. The end result is definitely a lot better with waxing, because like I said, you get a much more cleaner removal. It's from the follicle. There's no shine through, there's no blunt hairs, you know, that you've shaved that's peeking through anyway. And you definitely don't get a shaving rash when you do your waxing. With waxing, you can get a histamine reaction, but that only lasts a couple of minutes after your wax. So for me, definitely waxing, especially if you're going on holiday, there's nothing worse than having to stand in the shower, spending more time in your shower, shaving everywhere, and wasting your holiday time shaving. Rather just do the wax, go on holiday, and come back for your next wax. You know, you don't need to worry about your hair when you're on holiday. Yes, that's pretty much my advice. So also, if you are a woman suffering from hirsutism, which is hair that grows on the chin and jawline, definitely ladies, waxing is much better. You know, you do not get that that mask that all the men get with the shaving. Nobody will ever know that hair was there. You know, we can wax it off from the root, it stays away much longer. And with the aftercare, you know, with your AHAs and all of that, you will not get any ingrowns. You will not look like there was a beard ever. So definitely that will be your go-to, ladies. Okay, so that was my talk on waxing and shaving. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments, or send me an inbox on Facebook or Instagram, and I will most certainly get back to you. I tried to keep this video short and sweet, but yeah.